In this lesson, we're going to annotate and clean up our top of footing plan. We'll double click on here. We'll go in and rename these views at some point. So at this point in this view, because of the cut plane, we are actually capturing the slab up at the grade level. So we're going to start by changing the cut plane in this particular plan view. I'm just going to right click on here and say View Properties. And then I'm going to go down to my view range and hit Edit. And inside of there, I'm going to change my cut plane from 4 feet above the level to be only 2 feet above. Notice it's also got minus 2 feet below, so we capture our footing. So hit Apply, hit OK, hit OK. So now we're not seeing the slab, and that's good. Now I want to have dashed lines for my footing. So we can do this in a couple ways. So the quick and easy way is to go to Modify, use our Line Work tool, and then pick a line type we want, like dashed or something like that. Hidden lines. And then we can go and pick these lines. Okay. And it just so happens they're green. Yeah, and you can make your own line styles as well. So that's one way. Okay, now in this case they're green, so we would want to change that. So we can say, okay, let's go to Manage and go to Settings and go to Line Styles and go to the line style that says Hidden, and it is not green. Hidden line, so it's this one over here. So we need to change this to be black. So we click on black, hit OK, solves that problem. Okay, so we could use the line style under Modify. Now if I want to reverse that, I go back to my line style and I say, you know what, I want to set them all to be by category, which means the original, the way they're supposed to look without any overrides. So that undoes that. Escape, escape. The other way to fix our hidden line problem is by going into our actual visibility graphics overrides. If I type VV on the keyboard and I go that is a structural foundation category, these footings. So if I go to structural foundations, okay, and I go into here, I can click on this override projection line work, not patterns, line work being projected. I'm going to go in and override there, and instead of pattern override, I'm going to go in and say make them dashed. Line weight is good, color is good, just the pattern. Okay, so structural foundations only in this view are going to have an override of that, and that is that way of solving that problem. Okay, now we need to add some dimensions on here. So let's go to Annotate and use our Align Dimension. Now why are we not seeing any grid lines in here? Escape, escape. Okay, probably because our grid lines are not intersecting with our level line. So let's just go to our section and double click. Sure enough, our grid line here, if I click on it, stops up there. I need to pull this so it intersects with this. Okay, now watch what happens when we go to this view. I'll see at least 2 of them. Okay, I'm not seeing the other 2. So let's go to a south elevation. Let's grab these grid lines. Grab that little 3D hollow bubble, pull it down. Sometimes tricky to get that. So you might have to use your tab button or zoom in and pull that down. It's also pulling that one down. And now, okay, when I go to my top of footing, I can see my grid lines. So now I can go back to my Annotate and say Dimension, from here to here, place it. From here to here, place it. Escape, escape. Now what about that garage door with that notch? Okay, I'm going to create a plan region to override my cut plane in this particular view. Watch how I do this. I go to View, and I'm going to create what is called a plan region, which is under our plan view drop down, plan region. You go into sketch mode, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a box and just kind of go like this. That's going to cover enough of my geographic area, and say finish the plan region. Click out. Now I can click on that plan region, and I can go to the view range of that individual area. And I will say the cut plane is going to be at, what happens if I set that right back to be 4 feet? What does that give me? Yeah, that looks like that's perfect. So I hit OK and then click out. Okay. Now I probably want to go in here and change this boundary. And now the slab hatch pattern is showing up. So is the foundation. I don't want to see that. Okay, we'll fix that separately. But now for this particular view, I can now go back to Annotate, go back to my dimension and say dimension from here to here to here to here, and then something like that. Okay. And then if I want to, dimension to, and then, write typical inside of here. TYP. I think I can even double click on this dimension and put some information, text fields above, prefix below. TYP. There we go. Escape, escape. Click on here and delete that guy. So you can double click on the dimension and append that. I can also click on here and grab that and bring this out to do whatever I want. Okay, and change my tick marks. And that looks like that's just about it for the foundation. How's our sheet looking back here? Okay. Not too bad. And we'll cap it off there. We'll come back in our next lesson and move on to the elevations. And we're going to just kind of, bob and weave our way through the cleanup here and touch-ups of all the different views.